Where would we be in film today if we didn't have child actors? Beloved films like E.T., The Sixth Sense, and Stand By Me could never have been created without talented children. However, casting children in roles is very different from casting adults. After all, when casting someone for an adult role, you're guaranteed to find experienced and mature actors who have studied their craft for years. Adults don't have to focus on raw talent as much as they do on honing their skills. When working with child actors, however, it's pretty much all about raw talent. After all, you can't expect a kid to have attended the most prestigious theater schools. In fact, you can't even expect much of a resume. When directors and producers are casting young actors, they look for someone with good instincts and a natural ability to believably convey emotions. These are very different qualities to find in a child, which is why good child actors are valued so highly in the film business. Even though directors are far less demanding of child actors than they are of adults, it's still a grueling process. Child actors are often emotionally exhausted by the skills required of them, especially if they're playing more dramatic roles. Even if a child has a natural ability for acting, that doesn't necessarily mean they're cut out to handle all the responsibility that comes with it. After all, most children just want to have fun. Many child actors, such as Emma Watson, Neil Patrick Harris, and Drew Barrymore, went on to star in dozens of films well into their adulthood. It's amazing to see how much stars like Sean Astin and Neil Patrick Harris have grown since their days as child actors. Sadly, the same can't be said for every child actor. Some young actors quit their job because they want to focus more on school, or simply because they want to enjoy life while they're young. Others attempt to make it big in the film industry, but find that roles dry up as they grow older. And still others simply decide they'd rather spend their days in a different career altogether. In today's video, we're going to look at some amazing child actors who disappeared from Hollywood for good. Make sure you stick around because we'll reveal what happened to the actor who played a role in one of the most iconic horror films of all time. Ross Malinger. Ross Malinger's most famous role was in the film Sleepless in Seattle, where he appeared alongside legendary actor Tom Hanks. Furthermore, he co-starred with Belgian actor Jean-Claude Van Damme in the film Sudden Death. With such amazing roles on his resume, you'd think he would have made it big later in life. Even though he managed to earn a couple of recurring roles on various TV shows, such as Recess and The Simple Life, it became more and more difficult for him to find success as an actor. By the time he turned 17, Ross decided he was done in film, and he instead settled down in Malibu, California, where he now runs Automotive Legends. Daniel Tay. Daniel Tay played the role of Michael in the hilarious movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell. Despite it being his film debut, Tay performed well, displaying instincts for good comedic timing and believable facial expressions. The same year Elf was released, he also acted in the film American Splendor. 3 years after his film debut, though, Tay had virtually disappeared from Hollywood. Aside from playing a few roles here and there, as well as working as a voice actor in several video games, his filmography barely grew. As of 2009, Tay is no longer active as an actor and has chosen to settle down out of the limelight. Amber Scott. Amber Scott's most famous role was as Maggie in the fantasy film Hook. She was only 7 years old when she debuted on the big screen, but she displayed talents most 7-year-olds wouldn't even dream of. She was so young she likely couldn't even understand the magnitude of appearing in a film alongside legends like Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, and Dustin Hoffman. Despite her excellent start, the only other acting project Amber Scott would appear in would be the documentary American Experience. After that, she began a career as a ballerina and won an impressive amount of awards for her craft. Ariana Richards. Ariana Richards' film debut was in the 1987 movie Into the Homeland, but everyone remembers her for her role as Lex in the Steven Spielberg classic Jurassic Park. She won several awards for her work and appeared in a variety of films and TV shows. However, in 2001, she decided she had had enough acting. Instead, she decided to follow in the footsteps of an ancestor, Carlo Crivelli, an Italian Renaissance painter. Today, she's an accomplished impressionistic oil painter. She appeared briefly in a 2013 film Battle Dogs, but since then, she's disappeared from film entirely. Danny Lloyd. Not only is The Shining arguably Stephen King's most accomplished novel, but the film adaptation is also the most iconic adaptation of his work. The producers of the film knew the actor who played Danny Torrance would have to be incredibly special, and they found this talent in Danny Lloyd. The creepy, hoarse chanting of Red Rum is one of the most memorable film moments in history, and the performance is even more impressive when you find out that young Danny Lloyd had practically zero acting experience before he landed the role. However, Danny left his career as an actor behind at a young age, and he instead decided to become a science teacher at a Missouri community college. While everyone praised Danny Lloyd's work in The Shining, not all child actors were so lucky. Make sure you stick around until the very end to find out the tragic story of one notorious child actor who appeared in Star Wars: Phantom Menace. Jason Zimbler. Jason Zimbler may not be well known by many, but he was famous to young children who enjoyed the 90s Nickelodeon TV show Clarissa Explains It All. He played an obnoxious younger brother to the main character, Clarissa. While the show only lasted 3 years, it was insanely popular while it ran. After Clarissa Explains It All, Jason Zimbler disappeared entirely from both film and TV. Instead, he went on to graduate from Notre Dame, and today he works for HBO. He also created a support group called Been There, Done That, made especially for former child actors. Ross Bagley. Ross Bagley acted in the classic 1994 film Little Rascals. Later on, he was also cast to play Nicky in the show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He worked extremely well with Will Smith, which earned him a role in the 1996 film Independence Day. After that, however, his roles dried up. After appearing sporadically in various TV shows, he decided it was time to do other things with his life. He graduated from Cal State University, and after that, his connection with Will Smith helped him one last time. He landed an internship at Overbrook Productions, which is owned by Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. Jeff Cohen. Jeff Cohen played the lovable and iconic role of Chunk in The Goonies. That wasn't his only famous role as a child, however. He also appeared regularly on the show Family Ties, and he also voice acted in the cartoon series Popeye and Son. In 1991, after he turned 17, however, Jeff decided he had had enough of the acting industry. He quit for good and focused on school. He graduated from UC Berkeley, and today his degree has allowed him to work as an entertainment lawyer. Charlie Korsmo. Charlie Korsmo's breakout role was as Siggy in the hit comedy film What About Bob, starring Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. After that, he landed his most famous role, Jack, in the classic film Hook. But like Amber Scott, who played his sister, his acting career was short-lived after the release of Hook. In 1998, he made a brief appearance in the film Can't Hardly Wait, but he never worked as an actor after that. Instead, he found his calling elsewhere. He graduated from MIT with a bachelor's in physics, and he later attended Yale. Today, he works as the assistant professor of law for the Case Western Reserve University of Law. Jake Lloyd. No matter how impressive his acting could have been, it seems Jake Lloyd's role as Anakin Skywalker was doomed from the start. Die-hard Star Wars fans were utterly disappointed by the film, The Phantom Menace, and many of their frustrations were directed towards poor Jake Lloyd. Lloyd disappeared from acting shortly after, but for far different reasons. Even though he appeared briefly in the TV show ER and also acted in the film Jingle All the Way, he quit acting due to bullying from peers at school. Sadly, he was later diagnosed with schizophrenia, which led to a series of arrests in 2015. These days, many Star Wars fans have gotten over themselves, and he's now remembered fondly. Were you more surprised by child actors who decided to quit acting to pursue other careers, or by the ones who were unable to land successful roles? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to FactsVerse for more.